You may have heard that WTHI television is relocating. We move into a new building this summer. Now, this old building that we're in is worn out, but in some ways, it is a monument to broadcast television in America. Dozens of people who have worked here through the years have gone on to greatness. So before we move, we thought you might like a little trip down memory lane to see some of the people you may remember. This old building became a television station in 1954. That's when Tony Hallman put it on the air. Even he could not have imagined the people who would pass through this building in the next 58 years. Let's begin, well, at the beginning. That fellow on your right is George Martin. George was the very first news anchor at Channel 10. That's Howard Caldwell sitting with George. Howard left Channel 10 and went to WRTV in Indianapolis, becoming the Dean of Indy Newscasters over the years.
Good evening.
Harry Fry became the Dean of Terre Haute Broadcasters. Harry read the news when I was growing up. Dave Kirk was the weatherman at that time. When Dave mentioned your town, you knew that you were part of the WTHI family. Wayne Jenkins did weather and news. He went on to be a big part of Network Indiana for years. Betty Chadwick became the first female news photographer in our nation in 1958, and she did it here at WTHI. Betty became so famous, she would appear on national game shows, seeing if contestants could guess her job.
We're sitting in the locker room at Busch Stadium, at the locker of probably the greatest player of all times, or at least one of them.
Bob Forbes was sports anchor here. Bob went on to be a part of the famed Indy 500 race coverage team. Jerry Van Dyke had his own show here at WTHI. That's where he fine-tuned his routine that led to Hollywood stardom in movies and dozens of TV shows like The Mary Tyler Moore Show and Coach. Bill Weber, sports commentator, perhaps best known for his work on TNT and NBC NASCAR.
What you just saw and heard were the last public words of Dr. Martin Luther King.
Joe Benty, who worked as a reporter at WTHI, went on to anchor the CBS Midday News for over 3 years. And the list goes on. Greg Amsinger, who is now a sports anchor at MLB Network.
Majors refused to talk to us when we contacted him today.
John Barr worked here as a reporter. Now he reports sports all over the world for ESPN.
It is truly the end of an era in the NBA.
Sports director Mike King, who is now the voice of the Indianapolis 500. Liam McHugh, who worked here, now with NBC Sports.
Can you tell us your name, although I don't think we need to ask?
Brad Miley.
Brad Miley. You're not Brad Miley.
Larry Bird.
There was Jack Haynes, a local celebrity as Captain Jack. Cheryl Lemke, weathercaster at Channel 10, now at the Weather Channel. David Goodnow, news anchor at WTHI, later to become one of the first news anchors at CNN.
Just what is the Berlin situation today?
And Phil Jones. He started at WTHI as a news reporter. He later became White House correspondent for CBS News. Since 1954, dozens started their broadcast careers here at 918 Ohio Street, then went on to fame and fortune. This old building is crumbling now, but if these crumbling walls could talk, they could write a book on American broadcast history.
TV 10 and news.
With Chief Photojournalist Mike Latta, Mark Allen, News 10. You know, it's going to be fun to get into the new building,
Sure
state-of-the-art and all, but it was fun to just look back as I did some research on these. What a legacy this place has.
It'll be kind of sad to see it go down.
Yeah.